What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another Tutorial Tuesday. I know it's been a while since I've done another tutorial. I've been super busy with client work, but I thought I would come back and do one since, you know, Book of Boba Fett is out now, and I thought I'd teach you guys how to do the title. So let's go ahead and just jump right into it. First thing we're gonna do. By the way, this is my Boba Fett illustration. There is a video of this on my YouTube channel. Speed art. If you want to check it out, go ahead and check it out. Thank you. Okay, first thing we're gonna do: create new. We're gonna make it 15 by 15. Oop, 15. Enter. So the font we're gonna use, this font right here. It is called Kimberly. You can find it on thefont.com. I will link to it down below. But this is the font we're going to use. So we're going to go ahead, type out, caps lock on, the Book of space Boba Fett. Boom. We're going to go ahead and make a copy of it, put that one off to the side, just in case we mess up, we can use it later. Go ahead and right click, do create outlines. Now we're gonna go ahead and make this a little bit wider. Actually, before we create outlines, let's increase the letter spacing a little bit, and you'll see why. Okay, go back to create outlines and widen it up a little bit. Actually, that's kind of a lot of it, isn't it? All right, right there looks good. Boom. Go ahead and ungroup. Right click, ungroup. First thing we're gonna do is we're gonna change up the A. Right, because this is not how the A looks like in the actual title. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna create an anchor point right here in the middle. Boom. Then with the white arrow, click and drag over the center bar, and then just delete that out. Using the same white arrow, click and drag over the two left anchor points in the middle, and then right click join, and then just go to your Pathfinder and then unite. If you don't have your Pathfinder open, you can go to Window, down here to Pathfinder, and a little box should pop up, and then just place it over here. If you don't have that open, I would suggest keeping that open because, you know, as a designer and illustrator, I actually use this a lot. So the fact that it's not a default a default toolbox is kind of weird to me, but you should already have it open. Okay, so we have that center anchor point down already. We're going ahead and delete all the other ones. Boom, boom. So then we're going to delete these two at the bottom of the curve on both sides. And then with the pen tool still on, holding down Alt or Option, depending if you're on PC or Mac. Option if you're Mac, Alt if you're PC. Holding it down, see how this changes the tool. Click on those anchor points. Boom, it'll square them out, right? So with the white arrow, click and drag over the anchor points. Bring them in. One, holding down shift, one, and then click and drag over the center one, down one, holding down shift. Right, so now we're gonna make the center bar. Go ahead and click on the F, copy it, holding down Option or Alt, and then click and drag. And then with the white arrow, click and drag over the bottom half, and then just delete. Go over to Unite, boom, click and drag over the two left ones, and then just align right. There you go. Center it to the A and put it about right there. About a little lower than halfway, probably like a quarter of the way up. Click and drag over both, unite. So in the original title, the B's and the F's and the A have like little kind of serif points coming out, so we're gonna go ahead and create that. So we're gonna go to the star tool. So to go there, go where the rectangle is, click and hold, go down to star, and then before you let go of the mouse, right? So you click and drag, and before you let go, push down on the keyboard, boom, boom, until you get 3 points, and then hold down shift so that it's straight, and then hold down Option or Alt so it makes it an absolute shape, right? Now you can let go of the click. Boom. We're gonna go ahead and turn this upside down, downsize it a little bit, and then we're gonna make it a little bit more flat, right? Right about there. Make it a little bit smaller, right there. So then we're gonna line it up to the top and the outside of the B, right? So the center of the triangle is aligned with the outside of the B. We're gonna do the same thing with this B. Boom. And then same thing with the F. For some reason the F isn't aligned. Boom. And then for the A, we're gonna do the same thing. But the A gets on the both sides. These letters aren't aligned. Whoever designed this font, come on now. Okay, so before we do the Unite tool, let's go ahead and hide these triangles real quick. Open your layers. We're gonna make the font a little bit thicker, right? Because the font is actually pretty thick. So we're gonna add a stroke to it. Let's make it about 6 is good. So once you have the stroke out, go ahead and go to Object, Expand, click OK, go to Unite, Ungroup. Okay, unhide all the triangles, and then realign them. Should have done this before the triangles, right? Yeah, my bad. So align them. Go ahead and group these two, and then select both the triangles and the A, and then center them. There you go. Boom. Boom. Right? And now we're gonna add the same thing to the book of. Now, the reason we didn't thicken the book of is because in the actual title, the font is a little bit thinner than the rest. So we kept it thinner, plus it's easier to read when it's smaller for it to be thinner. So this actually has it on the H, on the B, on the K, and on the F, right? So now click and drag, select all of them, align up, and then boom. Ungroup, let's go ahead and adjust the spacing a little bit. That was too far in. Right about there. Go ahead and click and drag all. Go ahead and group. Now we're going to adjust the spacing. Actually, we need to unite these. So go ahead and unite. Go ahead and ungroup again. And then adjust the spacing between the letters. Don't go too close though, because we need to add a stroke to these still. E, and then the T and the E touch, and then both T's touch. Right about there. Click and drag over Fett, unite. Click and drag over Boba, unite. Let's go ahead and click and drag these anchor points, align down so they're straight. And now we put Fett under Boba, align left, click on Fett, hold down Shift, and scale up towards the right. Align it with the end of the A. We're gonna go ahead and group this. Boom. Center to the artboard, and we're gonna make it bigger. And we're actually gonna flatten it out just a little bit. Right there. Right there looks good. All right. And then the book of, bring it down. Center that. Oop. Right there. It actually goes out about halfway to the B and like halfway to the A. So right there is good. Bring it up. Now we're gonna make sure the spacing between all three is nice and good. Go ahead and ungroup Boba Fett real quick. Select all three, go to align, and then make sure distribute space. There you go. So go back to group Boba Fett. Now we're actually gonna make these separate layers. right? So I'm going to create 2 layers. I'm going to name the top one Book of. Oh, I spelled book wrong. And then name the bottom one Boba Fett. And then just click and drag in their respective layer, right? This one I'm just gonna name extras. I always have an extras layer for random crap that I'm not really using or I might use later. It's a good practice to have. So open up your Boba Fett layer, duplicate layer. So you can either grab that layer, drag it down to plus, and it makes a new layer, or you can just hold down Alt Option and then drag down. Boom. And then we're gonna make another stroke and make this 5. Object, expand, click OK, unite, and then we're gonna add a gradient to this one. All right, so go ahead and click the gradient, and then we're gonna use medium gray. Click and drag down to where the black is, bring the white in, do the medium gray again, and then do kind of like a lightish gray to get to the end, right? Boom, and then make sure it's 90. Boom. Look at that. And then we're gonna do the same thing for Book of. So go ahead and open that one. And then this stroke is actually gonna be smaller. Probably 3 is good. Go with 3. Object, expand, click OK, unite, and then do that same gradient. Make sure it's 90 degrees. All right. Go ahead and zoom out. So the reason I had my Boba Fett vector or illustration open earlier, because we're going to use those colors. So I'm going to go ahead and copy these. I'll let you know the colors in a bit. Move these to my extras layer so they don't get all messy. Okay, so the light green, excuse me. The light green is 55C, and the darker green is 5545C. And then the red we're going to use 180. So if you don't know how to pull up your Pantones, go ahead and go to your swatches panel, hit the little books at the bottom, swatch libraries, go to color books, and then Pantone solid coded. That is the standard for most prints around the world, right? And then to get it, you just put in the numbers where the magnifying glass is, 5555, boom, there's the green, 45, there's the other green, and then 180, there's the red. Okay. So the Boba is the lighter green, and the Fett is the darker green, and then Book of is red. Right. So now, the difficult part is all the tattered, kind of rust looking thing. So what we're gonna do is go to your brushes panel, click on the 3 lines right here in the top right corner, go to open brush library, artistic, and then do charcoal pencil. And we're actually gonna do this one right here at the very top. Double click, boom, and then go to your brush or hit B on the keyboard, and then just draw in some tattering. Boom, click V, select it, go to stroke, up the stroke a bit, we'll go with 5, and then adjust it to where you want it, add a couple more, boom. Some sides are heavier than others. Boom. Like the right side of the A is pretty heavy. Boom. We're gonna go ahead and move that a little bit to the left. Add a little bit more across the bob. Boom. Bring that up. And we're actually gonna switch sides on this one. Right there is good. So select the strokes we just made, or the paint strokes. Go to Object, Expand Appearance, unite. And then we're gonna make a square over all of it. And then we're gonna make this into a gradient. No, I lied, not the square. Make a copy, another copy of the Boba Fett, and then we're gonna make this into a gradient. It's gonna be a more subtle gradient. See how it's a more subtle gradient? So we're gonna go from medium gray to that middle gray between the medium and the white. Click and drag down. Boom. So now the strokes we just did, put them above, select them, hit compound or Command 8 to make it a compound path. Mix that into a singular object so that you can use it as a clipping mask. And then select the copy of the Boba Fett we just made, the gradient, and then do Command 7 or right click, make clipping mask. Click yes. Boom. Now that looks like as if that's like the tattered, metal underneath. Then we're gonna make that into one more clipping mask. Do the same thing. Boom. Right? So that looks pretty good. We're actually gonna add a texture to this now. So we're gonna make another copy, one more copy of Boba Fett. So click, hold down Alt or Option, drag to the very top. We're gonna make this medium gray. We're gonna go to Effect Gallery, and then under Sketch, you're gonna do Graphic Pen, stroke length 4, light dark balance 18, and then make sure it's vertical, right? Once you have all that, click OK. And then we're gonna go to Transparency panel over here to the right. Go down to Multiply. Let's see what darken looks like. Yeah, let's do darken. Go to Opacity, 50%. Boom. Let's do a little bit less. Let's go 40%. Boom. Now it looks like a textured kind of paint with the metal underneath, right? And then basically kind of repeat the process for the book of, right? Get your brush. Let's just do like one across all of it. Select that brush that we just did. Go to stroke, up the weight. 4 looks good to me. Object expand. We should be working in the book of, so drag that to the book of layer, open the book of layer, click and drag the book of, put it on top of the strokes we just did. Select that, Command 8. While that's still selected, select the brushes that we just made, Command 7 or right click, and then hit clipping mask or make clipping mask. Double click on the brush. We're now working in the clipping mask. Let's go ahead and make a square over the book of, make that the gradient. Get the paint strokes above, select the paint strokes, Command 8, select the square we just made with the gradient, make it into a clipping mask, click yes, boom skis. All right. And then make a copy of the book of again. Go to Effect, Apply Graphic Pen, since we already used that. Oh, I lied. We're gonna turn it gray first. Effect, Apply Graphic Pen, Transparency, go to Darken, 40%. Let's make this one a little bit darker or lighter. Let's do 20%. That works perfectly. Right? And the next thing we're gonna do, we're pretty much almost done. I actually am gonna make the texture on Boba Fett a little bit lighter. We're gonna make that 30% as well. That looks better. We're gonna make a square now around Boba Fett, and it cuts through the book of, right? So see how it's lined up line it up in the middle of the book of. You should use your guys to do so. Go over out here. Oh, should be a square, right? Boom. Change it to stroke. We can adjust this a little bit more. Center it. Bring the bottom up a little bit. Right there. Right, and then up the stroke. Pretty much just match the width of the book of. Right about there. Bring the sides in a little bit. Hold on Alt to make it, bring it in evenly. And then we're actually going to make this into our own layer. So we're just going to hit border. Click and drag that to the border layer. Go ahead and bring it to under Boba Fett. Open border layer. Select it, object, expand. Click OK. And then with the white arrow, hold down Shift. We're going to select the 4 outer corners. Boom. See this little dot that shows up? Click and drag inward to curve out the outside corner. So then we're going to make this a dark gray, darker than that. So we're going to go dark gray, but not so much black. And then we're going to add another layer. Square, make a background. Change this one to black. Boom. Look at that. And then last thing we're gonna do, gonna make another square, just slightly outside of the book of, just a little bit. Center it. Click on border. Do the minus front. Boom. All done. That looks pretty sick, not gonna lie. Pretty good, pretty dope, pretty close. Not exact, but pretty close for the time we had. I think this looks pretty good. I hope this helped you guys out. I had fun doing this. I hope you guys had fun doing this. I hope you learned some new stuff. What to do to achieve some like textures and a certain look and stuff like that. So, I mean, the purpose of these tutorials, like hopefully in the future, you come across a project and be like, oh, I learned this here. That's happened to me a lot, actually. I learned a lot from tutorials, and like in future projects, I'll be like, oh, okay, like I know how to do this because I learned this back in 2005. So again, hope you enjoyed this. Hope this helps you out. Please make sure to like and subscribe, hit that bell button so notifications pop up. And thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.